when General Oglethorpe took a boatload of prisoners from England, it was in about 1716 something, and the first settlers in Georgia were prisoners. They were from debtors' prison. Same thing with Australia. When the United States wouldn't take prisoners anymore, the British sent their prisoners to Australia. And Georgia and Australia have in common that they were first colonized by prisoners. So we got off to a pretty bad start.
You mean the seeds?
And it's been going on ever since, and it's still going on now, and it'll probably go on forever. Because we're human beings, and the tragedy is we all fall into corruption. We all succumb to temptation. That's why the Lord teaches us to pray. Deliver us from temptation. Save us, because we are so weak. Everybody has got his price. Have we got time for an anecdote?
Thank you very much.
Have we got time for an anecdote or about Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln, when he was a young lawyer, was practicing law, and he became quite prominent. He was well known, a big tall guy, spoke eloquently. He was a country guy, but he was very effective as a lawyer, and he got more and more prosperous. And then he became a congressman, and so then finally he was in his law office, which was a log cabin that he lived in, and he made out of logs. It was his office, his bedroom, and everything. And he's sitting there, and a guy comes to him, and he knocks on the door and says, "Mr. Lincoln, sir." And he said, "I want to make you an offer." And he proceeded to make him an offer of a corrupt deal. He said, "My company will pay you, if you will help us pull off this corrupt deal, my company will pay you $5,000. Lincoln said, "Absolutely not. But Mr. Lincoln, don't get upset now. We'll pay you $10,000. "No, sir. No, sir. "Mr. Lincoln, I'll tell you what, we'll pay you $15,000. "No, $20,000. We'll pay you $20,000. You're the unique person that can help us with this, and we need your help. $20,000. Lincoln, "No, I'm sorry. I just will not." Finally, the guy, "All right, Mr. Lincoln, look, we'll give you $25,000. Lincoln, who was a giant of a man, gets up from behind his desk, picks the guy up, and throws him out into the mud down the steps of his office. And the guy gets up out of the mud, Lincoln's standing up there, and the guy gets it, he breasts himself off, and, "So, Mr. Lincoln, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you." Lincoln said, "You didn't offend me. You were getting too close to my price." And the trouble is, we've all got a price. We've all got a price. Your son is sick, dying, needs medical attention. You need money to pay to save your child's life. You're not going to be corrupt. That's the trouble. But the worst thing is that corruption starts little and gets big. It's little by little. That's why I always counted the penny. When I was an auditor, I always paid a lot of attention to counting the petty cash. My bell is our petty cash custodian, and she knows it too. I made her reduce the amount of our petty cash because I've seen too many people start stealing out of petty cash. And pay it back, and then a little more, and then pay it back, and then a little more, and then it gets more than they can pay back, and they begin to steal other ways, and it gets worse and worse and worse. It's just like drugs. Take a little bit of drugs, it gets worse and worse. Take a little bit of money, it gets worse and worse. You know where corrupt people come from? They come from honest people. Any more questions? Are you ready to give up? I think we're ready to give up.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Kevin A. Madrina from the College of Arts and Sciences. I am also an officer of the Student Council. Sir, I would like to ask, because charter change for Tasha has been a really big issue for as long as I can remember. And I just want to ask if you think that changing the form of government of the Philippines would eliminate corruption or at least mitigate our problem in corruption. So, sir. I just want to ask, do you think there's any relation between our form of government and our problem with corruption?
Do I think there's any reason?
Yes, relation between our form of government and our problem in corruption. Yes, sir.
Changing the environmental.
No, sir.
Oh, it's a parliamentary.
Yes, sir.
Well, look at the parliamentary countries. Britain, Canada, they've got just as much corruption as everybody else. Basically, changing governments, changing law, changing politicians, changing policemen, changing anything, changing auditors does not stop corruption. Changing hearts. Changing hearts is what stops corruption. Corruption is not a cancer. Corruption is not AIDS. Corruption is not pneumonia. Corruption is a heart problem. Corruption is a heart problem. If we don't change human hearts, then the Philippines and across the world, we'll have corruption forever, and it'll eat us up.
We now move on to the awarding of a plaque of appreciation to our guest speaker. May I call on stage to be giving the award. Sir, don't leave the stage. Please come up again. And please join us on stage, our beloved President, Ma'am Esther Garcia, our Dean of the Graduate School, Ma'am Abelina De La Rhea. And please join us on the stage also, Dr. Kusan, from the coordinator of the College of Dentistry. Also, Dr. Patero for the education program, and Dr. Alcid for the business program.
The Graduate School of the University of the East hereby presents this plaque of appreciation to Honorable James Westbury for extending his valuable time and effort to participate in our second lecture series of 2010-2011 and for sharing with us his proficiency and comprehension on accountability and governance. Given this 18th day of August 2010 at the conference hall of the Dalupan Building, University of the East, Manila. Presented by our President, Dr. Esther A. Garcia, and the Dean of the Graduate School, Abelina De La Rhea.
Thank you. It's from my wife. Wow. My goodness. Thank you. You're getting close to my right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.